Today, we're going to talk about how to build confidence. I'm Dr. Scott Greenaway. Welcome back to Psychology Works. And confidence is something that really comes in handy when you're comparing yourself to other people when you're trying to attain something. Maybe it's a job interview, maybe it's a job position, maybe it's even just doing leisure activities with friends. We have these thoughts in our head that can determine if we feel confident or not. It's the opposite of what you think. You might be thinking that to build confidence, you look at your achievements, you look at your skills, you try to tell yourself, I am good at this thing, I'm not bad at this other thing. But this takes it from a whole different direction. I thought it was genius when I saw it. It really struck me as an excellent way to put it out there. So let me read some to you, and you tell me if you also think that this is genius. It's brilliant when you think about how to build confidence. It can be humbling to realize just how many great achievements have not been the result of superior talent or technical know-how, but instead merely self-confidence. Speaking to strangers at parties, asking someone to marry us, suggesting a fellow passenger turn down their music. We often lack confidence because we implicitly regard its possession as a matter of slightly freakish and irreplicable good luck. In fact, the opposite is true. Confidence is a skill, not a gift from the gods, and it is a skill founded on a set of ideas about the world and our natural place within it. So that's what I'm talking about. You have to look at your ideas about the world and your place in it. These ideas can be systematically studied and gradually learned so that the roots of excessive hesitancy and compliance can be overcome. We can school ourselves in the art of confidence. In well-meaning attempts to boost our confidence ahead of challenging moments, most people often try to draw our attention to our strengths, our intelligence, our competence, our experience. However, this can have awkward consequences. There's a type of underconfidence that arises specifically when we grow too attached to our own dignity and become anxious around any situation that might seem to threaten it. We hold back from challenges in which there is any risk of ending up looking ridiculous, which compromises, of course, almost all the most interesting situations. In a foreign city, we grow reluctant to ask anyone to guide us to the nice bars because they might think we're ignorant. We might long to kiss someone but never let on in case they dismiss us as a predatory loser. At work, we don't apply for a promotion in case the senior management deems us delusionally arrogant. In a concerted bid never to look foolish, we don't venture very far from our little cocoon. Consequently, from time to time at least, we miss out on the best opportunities of our lives. At the heart of our underconfidence is a skewed picture of how dignified a normal person can be. We imagine that it might be possible after a certain age to place ourselves beyond mockery. We trust that it is the option to lead a good life without regularly making a complete idiot of ourselves. One of the most charming books written in early modern Europe was called In Praise of Folly. This is from 1509 by the Dutch scholar and philosopher Erasmus. In its pages, Erasmus advances a hugely liberating argument. In a warm tone, he reminds us that everyone, however important and learned they might seem, is a fool. No one is spared, not even the author. However well-schooled he himself was, Erasmus remained, he insists, as much of a nitwit as anyone else. His judgment is faulty, his passions get the better of him, he is prey to superstition and irrational fear, he's shy whenever he has to meet new people, he drops things at elegant dinners. Now this is actually deeply cheering, for it means that our own repeated idiocies do not have to exclude us from the best company. Making blunders does not render us unfit for society. It makes us a little more like the greatest scholar of the Northern European Renaissance. There's a similarly uplifting message to be drawn from the works of Peter Bruegel. His painting is called Dutch Proverbs. I'm going to insert it here. In the painting, it presents a comically disenchanted view of human nature. Everyone, he suggests, is pretty much deranged. Here's a man throwing his money into the river. There's a soldier squatting on the fire and burning his trousers. Someone is intently bashing his head against a brick wall. Someone else is biting a pillar. Importantly, the painting is not an attack on just a few unusually awful people. It's a picture of parts of all of us. Bruegel and Erasmus's work proposes that the way to greater confidence is not to reassure ourselves of our own dignity, it's to come to peace with our inevitable ridiculousness. We're idiots now, we have been idiots in the past, and we will be idiots again in the future, and that's okay. There aren't any other available options for human beings. We collectively create a phantasm that suggests that normality might be possible, and this is problematic for everyone. Once we learn to see ourselves as already and by nature foolish, it won't matter so much if we do one more thing that might look stupid. The person we try to kiss could indeed think us ridiculous. The individual from whom we're asking directions in a foreign city might regard us with contempt. But if these people did so, it wouldn't be news to us. They would only be confirming what we already and gracefully accepted long ago, that we, like them, and every other person on earth, are a nitwit. The risk of trying and failing would have its sting substantially removed. Think about that. The risk of trying and failing would have its sting substantially removed. The fear of humiliation would no longer stalk us in the shadows of our minds. We would grow free to try things by accepting that failure was the norm. And every so often, amid the many rebuffs, we would have factored in from the outset, it would work. We'd get a kiss sometimes. We'd make a friend sometimes. We'd get a raise sometimes. The road to greater confidence begins with a ritual of telling oneself solemnly every morning before heading out for the day that one is a muttonhead, a cretin, a dumbbell, and an imbecile. A few more acts of folly should therefore not matter so much. You're off the hook, right? Nothing to lose. So think about this. So you don't want to view yourself as an idiot and everyone else is better than you. What we're trying to do is show that everybody has their own limitations. Everybody is foolish in some ways. Everybody makes mistakes. And so if you see yourself as someone who also does those things, you're fitting right in. And so it takes away that fear that we have that we're going to ruin our reputation or that somehow we're going to realize how stupid we really are. But if we already go into it knowing that we have flaws, we have faults, just like everybody else, then it kind of takes that away and makes us more confident. So let me know what you think. Do you like this idea? There's more to it we'll get to in the next video. Like and subscribe if you want to see the continuation of this. I'm Dr. Scott Greenaway saying, psychology works.